Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to podcast 6, season 3 of the Blue Collar Workers. As always, I'm 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐜 or 𝐬𝐝, depends on who you're asking. And my ride or die,
Chris.
And again, as always, this is your voice, your nation. And thank you for coming back for our podcast 6 in season 3. This is, we're starting to get into a roll of it, really, aren't we? We're going to be updating the banner, a few other things. I'm going to be restructuring some of the background area of our podcast, trying to make it look more professional, as we are getting closer and closer every month to the next election, where shit is going to get real. Anyway, over at my side, it's all about the Epstein for me today. Andrew should testify to the US Congress, the Prime Minister suggests after new photos of him with a likely underage girl.
Sounds about right for you. Just apart from his main bulk of Epstein, on my side, I've gone for the little bits of stories because he's going to take up the bulk of the thing today with the one topic. But as per usual, my delightful Rachel Reeves.
Wing, wing. The ginger chainsaw.
Hands on the student loan system. Ginger chainsaw.
I just thought that out.
And their current thing on the student loan system. And then obviously BBC asking for more money because they are being shafted sideways for their own incompetence.
It's all lawsuits they fucking keep getting involved in.
Average car models being hit by new car tax. Asylum seeker using loophole to avoid deportation. That sentence alone speaks volumes that if you're trying to use the loophole to avoid deportation, you know you fucked up even in your own country.
Fucking hell. Let me guess, that's from the Daily Star, Daily Mail?
Daily Mail.
Yeah, I figured that.
And warm home discount is extended.
Well, they can't be complete cunts in Parliament.
Yeah, I was going to say, end on a bit of good news.
Don't know how good that news is, though, but...
Right, before we get started on his Epstein debacle, I'm going to start on the rat that is Rachel Reeves.
Rat. I said redhead with chainsaw teeth.
Exactly, a rat. Chancellor Rachel Reeves has described the student loan system as fair and reasonable after criticism over the decision to freeze the repayment threshold for some borrowers. Earlier in the week, professional finance expert Martin Lewis has said freezing the threshold at which graduates repay their loans was not a moral thing for her to do, as it would be treated like debts like tax. In her November budget, Reeves announced the salary at which Plan 2 student loans must be paid back would be frozen at $29,385 for 3 years, starting from April 2027.
I just want to make a brief... Where the fuck was my pause? Yeah? What about us kids from the 90s and 2000s when we've now paid all of our fucking debt and these greedy little bastards want to get a pay cut? I'm sorry, some of us actually paid our university degrees up. We don't use them, but we paid for them.
Speaking to the BBC News Light,
I hear you smiling, you cunt. You didn't get one.
I didn't.
You were the financially sensible one. That looks expensive. Fuck that.
I had to go and pay for my MVQs and almost basically diploma level education. Thank you very much.
Oh.
Speaking to News Light, she argued government's measures were fair and proportionate for getting the balance right between tax and spending. Bullshit, you just want more money. She said the changes announced in her budget were bringing the different repayment plans in line with each other. So you start paying back the same income at the same income level. I think that is fair and reasonable, the Chancellor added. Money-saving expert Brandon Martin Lewis has asked the Chancellor to please have a rethink of her policy, as he went on to say she was treating student loans as a tax, which he stressed they are not. No, they're not. They're a fucking loan, not a tax thing.
So I want to be quite clear about this. I personally don't agree with them being repaid, being paused on repayment or frozen or anything like that, because realistically I paid for mine. Chris doesn't want them because of his tax. Okay, he doesn't want to have to pay more tax so you can get a free fucking goddamn loan or a partially paid loan. I paid for mine, okay? I'm not even here denying it. I paid full stead. I'm 45. nearly 46, I have paid off everything involving my loan.
I'm a keen advocate of apprenticeships.
And pay your fucking way. If you take the loan out, Chris, you should be responsible for it.
I'm a keen way of apprenticeships because apprenticeships means the business pays for it. You can take a slight pay cut because it's basically your wage going towards.
Yeah. Basically, you have crap wages, but that's why as an apprenticeship you stay at home with mum and dad.
Yeah. But it sets up nicely with apprenticeships, but that's me. It's a contract that the government signed with young people who had not yet been given any education on these loans, Lewis told Newsnight. I do not think it is a moral thing for you to do to be freezing the repayment threshold in this way. Plan 2 loans apply to students who started courses in England and Wales between September 2012 and July 23. The threshold is currently 28,470 for this plan. A freeze would mean workers earning above that amount would be dragged into making larger repayments on their student loans than if the thresholds had risen in line with inflation.
They took the loan out. I'm sorry. I'm kind of fucking brutal with this. Let me be quite frank. I think I made a mistake when I did mine. Yeah, and I paid for it. Yeah, 45 paid for it. It's taken me fucking ages to pay it off, but I paid for it. My problem is if these kids are making these decisions and their parents aren't walking them through how important loans are, that's the consequences of taking out a loan.
Graduates repay 9% of the amount earned above the threshold outlined in their plan. They do not have to start making payments until April after leaving their course, and the payments are made automatically through the tax system. But Lewis said there was growing anger practically among those in England and Wales with Plan 2 loans because recent higher inflation has resulted in increase in interest rates being applied to those loans.
You see, now that I disagree with. The interest rate should be barred. Should be barred from being applied to those loans because those loans are had to help. I agree with the loans being paid off, but I don't agree that interest rates should be applied to it.
I think this is the main cusp of the fact that interest rates are being applied to student loans.
Yeah, no, that should be told to fuck off. The bank should be told to fuck off for that. Absolutely. See, I thought this was. I had this assumption that this was kids trying to get out of their fucking debts because they didn't understand them.
When we have had high inflation, for interest rates have gone up, and it has been practically painful, Lewis said. And even though those rates have come down a little, Lewis pointed out, people who took out a student loan during this period will have a lot more added on top, which makes it more difficult.
Yeah. No, I disagree with the interest. Absolutely.
I don't. If anything, if you have a student loan, it should be a fixed interest
rate.
Yeah,
completely.
And a lower interest rate. And
because it's designed to get you educated into the workforce. As long as you honourably pay back your debt towards society, like me and Chris's tax, pay for you to go to college, university, you come out as a doctor or nurse or lawyer or something constructive to society. The humanities are not it. I don't give a fuck who's offended by that. All right, you want to learn art, you pay for it your fucking self.
Plan 2 loans are charged at a rate and interest equal to retail price index inflation plus up to 3% on top based on earnings. Some earning 51,000 upwards or more with a Plan 2 loan will currently be charged at 6.2% interest. By contrast, those on Plan 1 and Plan 5 loans who started university before 2012 and since 2023 respectively are currently charged at 3.2%.
That's more reasonable.
Yeah, but the fact that obviously Plan 1 and Plan 5 loans only get 3.2, so why is Plan 2 loans getting charged anything from 3 to 6%?
That's because they came through with a high interest rating.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't apply. Let me be fair. I'm not about robbing these kids their future. As I said, my objection is people who think that they can get a student loan and never pay it off.
They're kicking off because the interest rates
are that's fucking valid. That's entirely valid.
That's due to Reeves' new fucking stupid plan.
Oh, she's just fucking useless.
Well, a higher interest rate does not affect the amount someone pays each month. It makes it harder to reduce the size of the loan, meaning the borrower could repay more over time. So basically, you still got the same amount of payment, but the interest is just being added on to the end of your loan, so you're paying it for longer. That's just making more money out of students.
Disgusting. No, out of our students, out of the future of our country. No, it's completely disgusting. Because it damages their ability to get onto the property ladder, to buy cars, to be a part of society. I know buying houses is fucking difficult at the moment for everybody. And to everybody. The middle age are having problems with fucking buying houses. I think that's disgusting.
This is a good thing. A good thing. An entire generation has basically been missold their student loan.
Yeah, completely.
I smell lawsuits.
I would, because if I think you get a couple of hundred of them together, get a lawyer, Chris. Yeah, good fucking lawyer. A couple of hundred of those students together, take it to court.
Luke Barley is a financial manager who graduated in 2019. He pays a high rate of tax and is paying back a Plan 2 student loan. He told Moneybox on BBC Radio 4 that he still owes well over £50,000 on his loan. This is despite paying thousands of pounds on student loan company over the last 6 years, and I'm paying RPI plus 3% interest on my student loan,
Jesus.
which is an insanely high amount.
Jesus!
That is insane. Perry said going to university at age 17 or 18 are advised. This is a loan you're not going to notice with low rates of interest, so that won't affect you getting a mortgage. But it turns out it does, he said. An entire generation of people that went to uni while those loans were a thing have basically been missold their student loan. It is quite shocking, really.
No, absolutely. There should be legal actions. There should be fucking legal actions. These students should take this to court if they've been missold. Because when PPI was going, when they were mis-selling the car insurances, there's billions in mis-sales of car insurances recently.
Yeah, I got a payout from that.
I wouldn't be surprised how many fucking cars you've been through. But no, seriously, I would unquestionably kick off about that. I would gather together. You student kids are really good at unionising. Gather yourselves together. Get yourself a lawyer. Take the fuckers to court. Because that's disgusting. That is just fucking disgusting.
Listening to Perry, Nick Hillman from the Higher Education Policy Institute said, we shouldn't obsess over student loans. Hillman argued a Plan 2 student loan comes with all sorts of brilliant features and pointed out they'll get written off after 30 years if it hasn't been paid down, which it simply isn't there with other forms of borrowing. Hang on. Yeah, but that means they're still paying interest on it for 30 years.
Fucking arsewipe.
I'd literally just... You money-grabbing bastard.
Jesus Christ.
Literally.
In 30 years it'll be written off.
30 years it'll be written off, even though you're paying interest on those 30 years. Because if you have it, you're still paying interest, regardless of what you're earning. And if you earn too much, you're paying more interest.
Fucking hell.
And you wonder why people can't get fucking houses or anything else. Because if they're paying a pissing eye student loan off for 30 years, that's going to wipe out most people's bloody extra cash. Hillman, you're a muppet.
He's a Labour politician.
That explains it fucking all.
He's a Labour politician. I don't need to say more than that.
All I've got to say to you is, Reeves, you best turn around and refinance that fucking stupid shit, because at the moment, you're digging yourself an even bigger hole.
As soon as our boss goes, she's going. As soon as her boss goes, as soon as Stemmer goes,
if she tries stepping into power after Stemmer goes,
I can see him in a padded chair, rocking backwards and forwards. No, Reeves, Prime Minister Reeves, no! Turning into the fucking Joker.
Let's put it this way: there will be petitions to have her sacked after one day. Yeah.
You'd let her have a day?
It takes
a day
to get the petitions up.
I mean, seriously, just the idea that the financial fucking shenanigans that is being done by our leaders is unreal. I've got one outside of the Epsteins. Asda has lost its mojo and has a big fight to get it back. Rain drafts across the car park of Crawley's sprawling Asda, but the gloom does little to slow the steady stream of shoppers the midweek afternoon. Parents hurry past with school bags and groceries, car boots slam shut, and people load up their weekly shops. For Carol Stimpson, who grew up in the area, the Asda is the only 10-minute walk from home, and she pops in most days. It's my corner shop, she says. Joanna Dench, another local, is also shopping in Crawley and says she visits the town's Asda for its variations. They've got a good range of stuff, clothes, all sorts of things, and they have a lot of interesting international foods, which is lovely because I like to try new things. But despite the bustle in the West Sussex Asda, the chain has been losing ground to rivals at an alarming rate. The UK's third biggest supermarket has a dreadful Christmas. 2 sets of industrial data shows Asda suffered a big slump in sales, whilst all of its main rivals reported an increase. Asda sales decreased by 4.2 during the 12 weeks to 28th of December 2025, according to the World Panel, and that's off to the back of a terrible Christmas the year before. A mess is how William Woods, a food retail analyst from Bernstein Research, described Asda's situation. The industry data suggests that despite Asda's embarking on a turnaround and cutting prices, shoppers are still turning away. Asda hopes is that with time the plan will work, but the question often others are asking is whether the 60-year-old retailer is really able to turn things around. Controversial deal for decades, Asda has had the reputation as Britain's cheapest grocer. A slightly cheekier northern-based business loved by families for everyday low prices. The generation grew up with the Asda Price TV commercial. I remember those. First featured...
That's the one with the pocket in it. Ting, ting.
Yeah, you got it. Featured in the adverts for the supermarkets in 1977, showing a shopper tapping their back pocket, signalling that they've saved money at the tills. The business was sold to the US retail giant Walmart in 1990. There we go. You sold it to the Yanks. That's how you fucked it up. In what was the largest foreign takeover.
But Walmart in America is actually pretty decent.
Walmart is a fucking train wreck in America. You know anything about Americans. But from 2010, Asda struggled to fend off the growing threat from Aldi, Lidl, as Walmart's global priorities focused on its business in the US and elsewhere. 2021, it sold the chain in the 4 year leading up to the transition. Asda paid just over $4 billion to Walmart through its series of dividend payments. Asda was bought by 2 billionaire brothers from Blackburn and the private equities from TDR Capital for $6.8 billion.
Oh, so now Asda's British owned.
Yeah, it's British owned again. Mohsen and 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐸 made their fortune by building a petrol forecourt empire, e.g. Group. They were hailed as self-made entrepreneurs who would inject fresh thinking, which is, I like that. I like the fact it's been brought back off. We need to do that with Morrison's. Morrison's is owned by foreign companies.
But Morrison's is holding strong.
No, Morrison's had chunks of its fucking industry. Remember, they sold off the Morrison farms. They sold off the Morrison. Yeah. They sold off the good components. They just cannibalised it, and now all it is a forecourt supermarket that buys its goods in, part baked in, doesn't bring its own fruit and veg in now, or its own poultry. Like the good parts of what made Morrison's what it was,
like the butchers and everything else, has slowly been. Well,
it's been
the Gloucester still got it.
No, I know. Yeah. There are examples of it still standing, but what has happened is it's been gutted. And that's really quite tragic, considering Morrison's was a really big supermarket chain.
Actually, I've noticed that the bakery section's slowly been
it is
not so much fresh baked, more pre-packaged already in.
No, I know. It's been heavily damaged. Anyway, back over to you before we start the Epstein marathon.
Epstein marathon. Actually, yeah, but Asda's definitely got a challenge because I'm not gonna lie, Aldi and Lidl do have some actually really good food.
No, I know, and their food, the quality is brilliant. That's the thing. We got to give Aldi their due.
And it's cheap.
Yeah, got to give Aldi their due.
I get my fish from Aldi. It's the Morrison's these days.
Yeah, no, completely. Morrison's fish has gone up in price. That's probably why. Again, because they haven't got their own fish markets anymore. They don't buy. They used to import their own fish from their own fisheries.
Brits could be forced to pay a licence fee to use BBC websites and radio under controversial plan. BBC asking for more money.
Welcome to my VPN, which I am not going to be declaring to the government. Kiss my ass.
BBC bosses are considering controversial new plans that would require Brits to pay a licence fee to listen to its radio channels or use its new website. Alright, hang on. How the fuck are you going to turn around and get us to pay for it when we have a fucking goddamn battery operated radio at home and can tune into any fucking frequency? How the fuck are you going to enforce that? You're going to send us a bill? I can tell you where most people are going to stick that bill.
Bin.
Straight in the fucking bin. Yeah? Good luck in fucking enforcing that.
No one has paid. I'm telling you, no one in the country has paid a TV license bill in years, and they've stopped trying to enforce them now.
I wonder how the fuck they're going to make us fucking pay for fucking radio, seeing as radio's basically been free and been funded by advertisement.
Yeah, like I said, BBC Radio will just collapse if they have to put a licensing fee towards it.
The corporation is currently looking at alternative ways to fund its operations, aimed a fall in the number of people paying the fee each year. You said about the TV.
Motherfuckers, kiss my ass! I don't watch telly.
And it only requires live. You don't have to pay if you watch live TV.
And I don't
kiss my. I watch streaming services.
I
haven't paid a fucking TV license for fucking years. It's called fucking.
I've never paid one.
Unplug the fucking air and tell the government to fuck off.
What the BBC has, I don't want. That's the problem. I have Amazon, I have Netflix, I have Disney Channel. That's it. I don't need anything else. Fucking BBC, fucking. Because it is, I don't, and I have a moral problem with paying for the BBC on the grounds that, as I said,
fucking funded.
No, every other fucking decade, another kiddie fiddler.
Yeah, that's what I mean, who they fucking funded.
You know, Jimmy fucking Savile, you still haven't got over that, BBC.
Another option is being considered in extending the fee so viewers will be charged to stream shows on external services such as Netflix or ITV. A third change could involve introducing a model where the wealthier households pay more, in turn subsidising the licence fee for lower income families. A Daily Mail report reported in November that 1 in 8 households now say they do not need a TV licence, leading to losses estimated at up to 550 million. I'm sorry, BBC, but you didn't jump on the streaming wagon the same as everybody else. I could guarantee you, if you turn around, you just turn around and say, right, we're scrapping the TV licence, we're going to streaming services.
You might have actually got some money out of that.
You would have actually...
Your base would have shrunk, because, let's be fair, the BBC had an enormous base.
Yeah. You literally, you would have took a hit. But I could guarantee you that hit still would have balanced out the books.
Because I'm not watching analog TV or the Freeview TV stuff.
Because I could guarantee it. Literally, I got Netflix, I got Prime, I got Disney.
People don't watch telly anymore.
I'm trying to think what other I did have Now TV, but currently not at the moment. But literally, it's just like I use the streaming. I don't even plug in my fucking TV aerial. There's no fucking point.
I've never had one. To me, I don't have one. So I'm not going to bother me in the slightest. So I have lived probably the last 15 years off a laptop, so I don't need no fucking television.
To be quite honest, when I move into my own house, I'm going to get an electrician in, just tell him to rip the fucking TV report fucking out.
Because we don't want it. You know? We don't want your license, we don't want to fund your kiddie fiddlers, your sexual predators, your news reporters, your what was it? The child program.
Sesame Street?
No. The one that had the fucking gay guy who was dating that young teenage boy. One who said, "Do you want me to kill myself?"
Oh, is that the one?
Philip Schofield.
Philip Schofield.
What was he on? Blue Peter. Blue Peter. Yeah. Fucking, you got literal fucking sexual predators on Blue Peter. I mean, what the fuck do you expect any rational thinking Briton to think?
I used to watch that as a kid.
Yeah, I know. I also used to watch Jimmy fucking Savile when I was a kid. That's the disturbing thing. They put these nasty fucking human beings.
I don't remember watching Jimmy Savile. I definitely remember watching Blue Peter.
Jim will Fix It. You ever watched Jim will Fix It?
I think I watched like one episode and it didn't really intrigue me.
Yeah, the whole thing about Jim will Fix It was fascinating for someone from inner London.
That's probably because I was more interested in going outside today.
Yeah, we had concrete where we lived, okay, and gangs.
Yeah, like Sunday while you watch TV. I went outside and I had a nature reserve there and there.
Yeah, I've got a bumpkin, city boy bumpkin,
and a couple of football fields as well. So you're messed up there.
Okay, so let's put that where it is.
Literally. Over the past decade, the cost of the licence fee, which must be paid to watch live television or iPlayer, has soared to £174.50. However, some bosses have complained that below inflation rises in recent years have held them back. They are lobbying for a new deal before 2027, where the Royal Charter that governs the BBC is due to renew. No, it's called cancel the fucking shit. I don't give a crap It's called when it runs out, it runs out. We don't have a legal standing to pay you fucking shit, you motherfuckers.
I don't use the facilities. I don't see why I should need to fucking pay for your BBC television or your radio. I don't listen to the BBC radio. I don't watch the BBC television. I should not be obliged to pay for something I'm not using.
It is understood that the option discussed at the board meeting on Wednesday was to spread out the cost of the licence fee by increasing the number of people who need to pay it. It is hoped that this will raise money overall by lowering the average cost paid per household. An insider told The Times, our priority is ensuring the BBC is sustainable as a universal public service beyond just the next few years. This shouldn't mean the price of ordering household goes up. We are very sensitive to that pressure. That's because you're losing money on it because you ain't adapting, you dumbass. Ministers have set out an ambitious agenda of what the BBC should be, and we are open to all ideas that are at the consultation says ensures the organisation not just the services but thrives in this competitive media landscape. Then it's called fucking adapt.
Yes, absolutely. Why do if I'm not using your services, why do I have to pay for it? I mean, I'm genuinely honest about this. Why do I feel obliged to pay for a service I've never fucking... Well, I say never. Not since I was a child, when my mother paid for a TV licence. Do you know? That's the last time I properly sat down and watched the BBC at any length of time.
Especially since these days you can turn around and literally just whack up on a laptop or turn on YouTube and watch us disgusting news.
Yeah, there is that. I mean, and we're more interactive. We at least respond to our critics and people, unlike the BBC, where you have to make a 4-page letter of complaint and then they give you this carbon copy answer. Useless, absolutely fucking useless.
The only advice I got to you, BBC, is you need to learn, you need to adapt quick, because the other services, by the sounds of it, are going to wipe you off the map. I do think that. And I literally feel as if you're trying to use that legal enforcement that you got from the Royal Charter, which by the looks of it is up for renewal in 2027. And if I was you, Royal Charter, I would dump the BBC on its fucking ass and leave it to fend for itself.
It loses the Royal Charter, it's dead. I predict that now. If they lose access to their Royal Charter, the BBC, they are dead in the water.
Whoever governs the Royal Charter, I would seriously, after all this fucking goddamn shit that's come
and the Savills and the fucking 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐫𝐿s and the Phil Schofields,
everything that keeps coming out of the woodwork, I would turn around and go, sorry, no, I'm not dealing with that public pressure, and just dump them.
Seriously, you couldn't. I don't think you can fix the BBC's problems. I don't think they're fixable. I'm being genuinely honest here. I'm not trying to be a cunt. I don't think the BBC's internal problems can be exercised. That the rot is so deep that you should just need to either burn the whole structure down to cinders and rebuild by new growth, if you like, or end the whole fucking company, because it's a corporation. It should never have become this pseudo-corporation. It should have stayed public-owned as a news operation thing and stay like that. So if they could separate the BBC News...
Oh, they'll be able to do that, I know that.
And just leave that as a national news network.
I know for a fact if the Royal Charter dumps it, it's going to take a massive hit, but I don't fucking care, because of the fact that clearly a good chunk of the company doesn't pay for the TV licence anyway. There's other forms of getting news and everything else because there are several news outlets.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, I know the BBC...
The BBC News is actually achievable.
Yeah.
That's the problem. If we shrink the BBC down to its news elements, we'd be doing fine.
It'll take a cut, but I have a feeling if they cut it in the right way, they'll actually sustain themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the moment, I have a feeling they're resting on the pillar of the Royal Charter. Let's start the Epsteins. Let's get in here. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has suggested that Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, the fucking kiddie fiddler, should testify before the US Congress over his dealings with the convicted sex offender Jeffrey fucking Epstein. In terms of testifying, I've always said anybody who has got information should be prepared to share that information, he told reporters. You can't be a victim-centred if you're not prepared to do that, he said. Epstein's victims have to be his first priority. The PM's comments come after latest release of files released to Epstein, which include images appearing to show Mountbatten-Windsor kneeling over a female. Now, one of the things that has been doctored out as young female, nearly a teenager. BBC, you're very clever with your fucking language here. Young female.
possibly a teenager.
I knew this would happen.
BBC News.
As soon as he lost his royal title, I know they'll be coming for him.
I think he should have lost it ages ago.
I think the only reason he held on to it because he knew that as soon as he lost the title, people would start coming in for him regarding Epstein.
Yeah, because he's a disgusting human being. BBC News has approached the former prince for comment. He has repeatedly denied any wrongdoings. Democrats in Congress asked Mountbatten-Windsor to answer questions as part of the Epstein investigation in November. At the time, Starmer said the invite was a matter for Mountbatten-Windsor to consider personally. On Friday, the US Department of Justice released over 3 million pages of documents related to Epstein 6 weeks after the deadline mandate in law signed by US President Donald Trump. So they were late. We know why they were late. No context is supported for the phones of Mountbatten-Windsor kneeling over the unidentified female. In 2 of the images, he's seen touching the person who is fully clothed on her stomach. Another image shows him staring directly at the camera. The photographer appears to match the interior of Epstein's New York City mansion. BBC verifies it has found the decor. Seen the photo appears to be consistent with other images of the townhouse interior. The pictures are likely to be put further pressure on Mountbatten-Windsor, who has faced years of scrutiny over his past friendship with Epstein. He has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. You're a fucking chomo and you need to be deported to America. You scum. I've never liked Andrew. I've never liked the way he fucking does things. I've never liked the fact that he's been allowed to get away with this by the establishment.
The only thing I know about Andrew is the fact that of all the scandals that come out, usually involve him.
Yeah, him or Harry. Mountbatten-Windsor, formerly known as Prince Andrew the Duke of York, was stripped of his royal titles in October after increasing scrutiny over his links to Epstein. Separate emails released on Friday also suggest Epstein invited Mountbatten-Windsor to his dinner with a 26-year-old woman in an email exchange between Epstein and the Duke. He said that the woman would be in London in August 2010. The Duke replied that he would be in Geneva until the morning of the 22nd, but would be delighted to see her, before asking, will she be bringing a message from you? Please give her my contact details to get in touch. He asked Epstein whether there is any other information you might know about her that might be useful to know. Epstein replies that she is 26, Russian, cleverously sick, beautiful, trustworthy, and yes, she has your email. The messages were exchanged in August 2010, 2 years after the billionaire Epstein pleaded guilty to soliciting a minor. Fuck's sake. Enough said! Enough said! This is the type of friend that Mountbatten-Windsor... So let me be very, very clear. My boy does murder, I'm standing beside him. Yeah? My boy does almost 90% of the crime, I'm still going to be there. That's what you call ride or die. He knows the one crime that I will be stabbing him for. And that's what fucking baffles me. How is a duke and a prince of fucking Britain, one-time prince of the fucking empire, because he's old enough to have been a prince of the British Empire.
Fucking hell.
Prince of the British fucking Empire is in bed with Epstein. 2 years after he was found guilty for soliciting a minor. Fuck me. He was given an 18-month sentence after forging a deal with prosecutions where he was able to go on work release to his office for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. He was released on probation after 13 months. Mountbatten-Windsor has repeatedly denied all wrongdoings in relation to Epstein and said he did not see, witness or suspect any behaviour of the sort that subsequently led to his arrest and conviction.
Well, the current evidence says otherwise, you dumbass.
Fucking Jesus. The emails in the latest release of documents do not indicate any wrongdoing. The BBC has contacted Mountbatten-Windsor for a response. The latest release files also appear to suggest that Epstein has been helping Sarah Ferguson, Andrew's ex-wife, and the former Duchess of York financially for 15 years.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Excuse me? In 2009, Ferguson was in correspondence with Epstein, giving him details and business ideas she had, describing a series of meetings she had with a well-known branded following your lunch. She writes, "Thank you, Jeffrey, for being the brother I have always wished for." In the same year, she had requested £20,000 for a rent payment, claiming she needed it today. The fucking Yorks, Prince and Princess of York, his wife and husband, Andrew and fucking Ferguson, were in bed up up to their necks in money, 20 G's, to the fucking Epstein kiddie fiddler, the man who is known to be an asset of Mossad, the spy agency of Israel.
Fuck's sake.
The landlord had threatened to go to the newspapers if I don't pay. Any brainwaves? She asked. Email included the latest release showing that Epstein wanted Ferguson to release a statement saying he was not a pedo and that she had been duped into believing false allegations about him by civil plaintiffs, attorneys from Florida. In the exchange in 2011, Epstein also asked publicist Mike Stiggers to draft a statement in an ideal world Ferguson would put out. He owns the fucking Duke and Duchess of York. He had them in their back pocket.
He had them by the short and curlies and used them.
Absolutely. Andrew and Ferguson are up to their necks in this mess. She knows what she was told was based on falsehoods. She should out the newspapers on the offering of money for stories. Strict response to Epstein's request for a statement saying, with pleasure. She replied, with pleasure.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Ferguson has been approached for comments. Speaking to reporters, Starmer also asked about Epstein sending 10 grand to Lord Mandelson, partner Reynald Avil-Silvia, in 2009, according to the documents released by the US Department of Justice. Mandelson, the ambassador to the fucking US, his boyfriend, husband, my apologies, not boyfriend, husband, got given 10 fucking grand by Epstein. Excuse me? What did you say, Prime Minister, about your trust in Lord Mandelson? In less than a fucking year. Jesus Christ. Opinion?
You all made your bed, now go fucking lie in it.
Jesus wept and then some. I want to know, see, the scary thing is how little we know what's going on in the Tory side of this. Why haven't we heard where the Tory skeletons are? Because they were in power for 14 years. There's no way.
I can guarantee you they fucking buried them where no one could fucking find them.
I think the Tories have done a fucking exorcism on their own party, that they're shoveling them off to reform.
I was going to say, this is where you find out that all the people that were involved in Epstein are in Reform Party. I'm just waiting for Farage's name to be dropped.
Oh, no, that would kill his career.
Yeah.
That would be, even in Britain that's going mildly xenophobic, that would kill his career. In an email to Epstein, De Salvo set out the costs of an osteopathic course, providing his bank details and thanked the financier for everything you can help me with. Epstein replied a few hours later saying, I will wire you a loan amount immediately. And the following day, Savas writes, just a brief note to thank you for the money which arrived at my account this morning. Asked for a response, Lord Mandelson said he had been very clear about his relationship with Epstein in an interview with the BBC. I have nothing more to add, said the Labour peer. What do you mean? Nothing more to add? Your fucking man was in the back pocket of the fucking spy of Israel who was lifting people over to Epstein Isle for kiddie fiddling. Oh, the fuck are you on? Remember, ladies and gentlemen, Epstein was an Israeli asset. Unquestionably an Israeli asset. Fuck me. Asked these reporters about Lord Mandelson, Snowden says he was removed as an ambassador in relation to the further information that came to light in September of last year. That wasn't less than a few months ago, Prime Minister. We're only in fucking January. I've nothing more to say in relation to Peter Mandelson. More than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images are included in the latest released. Many of the documents are heavily redacted, with some files showing pages which are entirely blacked out. You know that's to do with Trump. You fucking know. You know that's the Trump file parts. All those redacted, the Senate should go after them. Because I'm telling you, when that bag of worms opens, Trump is fucking knee-deep in it. Fucking knee-deep. Former inquiry said that they need to review the file is urgent, partly due to the forthcoming public committee hearing with the Attorney General, Pam Bondi. It says the panel has questions over why the Justice Department has only released half of the estimated pages. Only half of them. All those pages, that's only half of it. Think of what's coming out next.
I'm waiting for it to indict the BBC at the same fucking time.
Being named or pictured in the files is not an indication of wrongdoing. Many of those identified in other releases have denied any wrongdoing in relation to Epstein. You knew a prolific paedophile who was an asset of fucking Israel. How the fuck did you not see this coming? I've got more, but we're going to pop over to Chris now, because that's just the chunky things.
And yet again, another surprise from the car tax system. As of April 2026, £760 car tax hits Mondeo, Golf and Safira models that are being scrap listed.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. A 735 tax trap means hundreds and thousands of cars on UK roads are being written off as people refuse to pay the charges. Some motorists are reportedly reluctant to make the transition to new electric models, with the consequence being that they are clinging on to their older vehicles. Some of them have larger engines, and if the owner decided to acquire a similar vehicle, now they would face a crushing first-year additional charge depending on emissions of up to £5,490. Some believe it is more environmentally sound to maintain an older car on the road rather than purchasing something which has higher manufacturing emissions. However, the Telegraph reported that some of the most sought after cars from 20 years ago are now virtually worthless and being scrapped because it costs too much to tax them. It means cars which produced more than 225 grams of CO2 emissions per kilometre are hit by vehicle excessive duty VED, with those producing 201 to 225 paying 430, and then 226 to 255 kilograms of emissions, £735, and over 250 is £750 plus. And the bands are set to rise, with the 735 going to 760 and the £750 over 250 kilometers expected to hit 790 from April 2026.
Jesus Christ.
But the Telegraph reported that it's not just high-end SUVs with huge engines being hit, it's ordinary family cars like Ford Mondeos, Saabs, VW Golfs and Vauxhall Safiras.
Oh my God.
That's a huge chunk of the fucking car market. People are reportedly scrapping their cars due to enormous tax bill each year, which rivals how much the car is worth. However, The Guardian revealed that manufacturing a medium-sized new car could produce over 17 tonnes of CO2, newly equivalent to 3 years of gas electricity consumption in a typical UK household.
Fucking hell.
Mike Berners-Lee and Duncan Clark explained, with this in mind, unless you do very high mileage or have a real gas guzzler, it generally makes sense to keep your old car for as long as it is reliable and to look after it carefully to extend its life as long as possible. If you'll make a car last to 200,000 miles rather than 100,000, the emissions for each mile the car does in its lifetime may drop by as much as 50% as a result of getting more distance out of its initial manufacturing emissions. The majority of pre-2001 vehicles are simply taxed based on engine capacity. Anything under 1,549cc attracts a yearly levy of £229, while motorists with cubic capacity exceeding this threshold, whether it's a Lad or a Lamborghini, face an annual charge of £360. Following this period, emissions-based brands were introduced. Those vehicles registered between March 2021 and 23rd of March 2006 had their maximum rate limit to the band K level, currently standing at £430.
Fucking Jesus. Jesus. I think that's the only word I have for it. So you think those car models, they're going to go, aren't they?
Yeah. 10 popular models caught in the VED trap. The Saab 900 convertible, £735. Land Rover Freelander 2 i6, £760. Audi TT 1.8 Turbo, £735. Ford Galaxy, that's a fucking family SUV.
Jesus.
Yeah. 2.3, £735. Jaguar X-Type, Okay, I can understand that. But Exit, that's still a popular car anyway. 735. Subaru Forchester 2.5 XT, 735 pound. The VW Golf R32. That's in it.
Jesus.
That's a popular boy racer car. That is. A Chrysler Cruiser, Vauxhall Severa, and a Ford Mondeo V6. All in the £700 plus bracket for car tax. Bear in mind, that's per year.
Fucking hell.
And literally, and then the new 26 to 27 car tax rates for vehicles registered between March 2001 and April 1st, 2017. That's just, I'm not gonna lie, that's just stupid.
What's new?
If you produce under 100 grams per kilometre in those models, your car tax is only £20.
Jesus.
You know what that is, don't you?
What?
You know, there's a small little run round cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's those.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
But isn't it dangerous taking those on the motorway like his motorcycle?
Yeah, because they could literally only go up to a certain speed, and all it takes is one strong gust of wind, and they're flying across the motorway.
Fucking hell. Are they lawfully allowed to go on the motorway though? Because I know in the motorbike brand, if you're under 125cc, you can't go on the motorway at all.
You have to go on the motorway. You have to produce a certain amount of power, don't you?
I don't know. I don't know about cars. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, no, it's the same with cars as well.
Damn.
Because I know there's some cars. Was it the 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐿?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're allowed to go on the motorway, but I know for a fact if a strong gust of wind, they're going.
strong gust of... It's a 30-mile-an-hour wind. Well, I'm not going out on my bike today.
30-mile-an-hour crosswind. Even I'm like, I got a Mercedes. Even I'm like, man, I'm not going on the motorway with that.
45 was that last storm. I went to work in that. But the advantage was, okay, I left just before the storm picked off, cracked down, had a brief hour when I went out, rocketing, running away from the storm.
Well, you just put up a sail and use the storm to your back.
No, because I don't know where I'd land. Backyard somewhere.
In the roof of your workplace. I'm here!
Literally, like, that was the advantage of like the morning. I had this tiny gap in the morning, which I just jumped on the bike. I was early at work, really early at work. Just shot into work, like, what are you doing here? Well, I've got to come to work. Yeah, but the weather. Yeah, I know. I've got about a 40-minute gap when I go home too. Because I waited about 10 minutes after my job. So it was just 10 minutes after my shift. And then the storm just cut. And that was it. I was gone. I was like a bat out of fucking hell. Shooting through those lanes. Because if you get stuck there, that's a phone call to you, don't you? Like, Chris, I'm in the field. Fuck's sake.
You hear me coming down the fucking road.
Window. Are you dead? If you're not, you want to be.
Are you dead? If not, you fucking will be in a minute.
I think I broke my leg. Walk it off. Oh,
Experts say that making certain models also almost worthless, leading to them being scrapped or exported to countries where buyers welcome these cut-price cars, many of which are on the cusp of being classics. While owners of exotic supercars and V8 engines, 4x4s, might not get much sympathy for a hefty tax bill, the rules are personalised for more mundane sporty models such as the Audi TT and the Vauxhall Severa, larger engined versions of the Ford Mondeo, and even a Volkswagen Golf. Drivers wanting the extra grip of an all-wheel drive might think a Land Rover Freelander or Subaru Forester would be perfect and cheaper to run than a large 4x4, but some models still fall into the top brands and cost more than £800 a year to tax. Wayne Lamport runs Stone Cold Classics in Kent, which deals mainly in cars from around this era. He told the Telegraph, "We have to be very careful when we buy stock. which is 26 or more recent. Cars such as Jaguar X types are great, but who wants to pay more than £700 for an annual tax? It doesn't make many years of ownership to spend the value of the car. One example is the Chrysler PT Cruiser. A lot of people love them and think it will be a novelty, but they go off the idea when they realise the annual cost of taxing it. A lot of these cars are virtually unsellable.
Yeah, no, I would believe that. I would completely believe that.
I'm crying over my tax bill on my car, and it's not even clear. It doesn't even reach £200.
I have a motorbike, so I'm going to keep quiet.
You're a different class.
I don't have these tax problems yet. Motherfucking lawman hasn't come to the motorcycle industry yet.
It won't be long at this.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm currently safe. Currently.
The moment I start hitting £400 tax bracket on the same fucking car I'm driving, is when they're coming for you.
No. I'm going to be laughing.
You're paying £400 tax bill. You're next, motherfucker.
That's just outrageous what they're fucking charging. Those cars are going to be gone.
Yeah.
They're going to be gone. Swiftly over to me. Epstein sent 10 grand to Madelson's partner, released emails to show. Convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein sent 10 grand to Peter Madelson's partner, 𝐸𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 in 2009, according to documents released by the US Department of Justice. In an email to Epstein, 𝐸𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 set out the cost I previously just mentioned in the earlier part of the podcast. Asking for a response, Lord Madelson was very, very clear. On the 11th of January, Madelson told Lord 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 his friendship with Epstein had been a most terrible mistake. 2 days later, he gave a statement to Newsnight offering a personal apology to the victims of Epstein. The exchange between 𝐸𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞, who married Lord Madelson in 2023, and Epstein appears as part of a huge document released from the US Justice Department running to 3 million pages relating to Epstein. The emails first reported to the Financial Times.
Sorry, how many pages?
3 million, and they've only done half of them.
Fuck.
3 million. And that's the point. I want to see, where are the Tory peers in this mess? Because they were running our country for 14 years, and we know America and the US have a special arrangement. Take it out how the fuck you like. Madelson told the BBC, I was wrong to believe Epstein follows the convictions, followed his convictions, and to continue my association with him afterwards. I apologise unquivocally for doing so to the women and girls who suffered. I have never culpably or complicit in his crimes. Like everyone else, I learned the actual truth about him after his death. But his victims did not know what he was doing. Their voices were not heard, and I'm sorry I was not among those who believed him over them. There is no suggestion 𝐸𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 was involved in any wrongdoing. December 2024, Lord Madelson was appointed the UK ambassador to the US, but was sacked less than a year later when it emerged he had sent a supportive message to Epstein following his conviction. What kind of fucking madness? This is what I don't understand from Labour. What madness puts a friend of Epstein as an ambassador? Forget the fact that, even if he was an innocent friend. If I'm convicted of some serious crime, my boy here is going to be tarnished by that feather in most British society. Oh, you're friends of that nutcase Irishman who stabbed up that bloke. That will tarnish Chris. It really would. I can't understand on these kind of normal dynamics that a fucking Labour peer was given an ambassadorial job to a foreign country when he is a known friend of Epstein. That was a fucking nuclear bomb in diplomacy waiting to happen. How did no one see that?
I'm starting to think that they don't vet their fucking MPs or ambassadors.
No, listen to the point. Number 10 had known about Lord Madelson's friendship with Epstein when the ambassador's appointment was made. They knew. How did you not see that as a problem?
If I was one of the goddamn consultants in that thing, I'd be like, why are you making an appointment with someone that's connected to that? What do you mean? Why are you fucking bothering?
There's a bomb waiting to go off.
I'd be like, you hired this dude, you've committed suicide.
The political damage that Epstein has done to the British Labour Party because of Lord Madelson could have been entirely avoided. He was a retiree scumbag of Tony Blair's age. He could have been ignored decades ago. Oh, it's Madelson. No one cares about him. He's not even in the party. You made him an ambassador. Fucking morons. Fucking morons. My brain hurts trying to rationalise why anybody in Parliament, anyone with any common sense, didn't say to the Prime Minister and whoever appoints these in the Foreign Office, why are we appointing Lord Mandelson? Files further documented that closure ties between the British politician and Epstein, including an email from June 2009, in which Lord Mandelson asked Epstein if he can stay at yours Friday, Sunday this weekend. Epstein asked press issues before saying, "You called. I'm thrilled to host and sad I'm not there." Mandelson replied to that it should be okay. Better facilities at yours. At this point, Epstein replied to someone else and copied Mandelson in, asking him to implement the arrangements. Previous released report by JP/Morgan suggested that Mandelson had stayed at Epstein's apartment in New York in 2009. 2019, Epstein died in a New York prison cell whilst awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. I can tell you this now, Epstein did not commit suicide. Cowards like that don't have the courage to commit suicide. That motherfucker was bumped off. I can tell you Mossad or the CIA knew how dangerous Epstein was to all the highlighted people. Remember, celebrities have been on that man's island. That man was connected to all of the dirty people of America and quite clearly all the dirty people of Britain. Lord fucking Mandelson being one of them. Disgusting human beings. Back to you, my soldier.
Not getting any better. Asylum seeker who attacked 4 strangers uses loophole to challenge deportation. I'm sorry, but you attacked people and you expect him to get out of being deported. An asylum seeker who was jailed as a danger to the UK, that was in quotes, mind, after attacking 4 strangers, is using a legal loophole to claim he is a reformed character and should not be deported. Rabin Tawfiq.
What's his name? Rabin Tawfiq Hamamhain
was drunk when he...
Oh, he's not Muslim. Oh, he's drunk. He's not Muslim.
He meted out serious violence by kicking and punching a man unconsciously and then beating 2 others to the ground in a South Yorkshire town, an immigration judgment reveals. The 30-year-old Iraqi who arrived in Britain on a small boat, oh, for fuck's sake, then spoke inappropriately to the young woman in Barnsley before attacking her boyfriend as he went to her aid. Although Hameen was due to be deported once released from his 2-year prison sentence, a material error of law, his immigration case will be heard again. He has previously denied asylum because it was ruled he was not at risk of prosecution. In Iraq, Kurdistan, his legal team successfully appealed against the deportation order. Lawyers for Sabah Mahad and the Home Secretary then proved an error in law meant the legal process had to start again.
So that, yeah, it's bad, but I think he's going to be deported anyway.
Yeah. In arguing his right to stay in Britain, Hameen will be able to use human rights laws to argue he is a reformed character and no longer possesses a danger to the public. I'm sorry, but if you've
assaulted and battered people whilst being intoxicated with alcohol, you get what comes towards you involving justice.
And as I was saying, you've been basically convicted of harming assault of people whilst under intoxication, yeah? Unless you've become a non-alcoholic, like a reformed alcoholic, and doesn't touch a drop again in his life, yeah? Which I believe that is fucking bullshit.
Well, no, I've been at the last party you had when we had a gathering, that was the last time I drank.
Yeah, but you haven't turned around and out of drunken disorder after being drunk attacked people.
I don't know. I've wanted to attack you a couple of times.
Yeah, but you know for a fact you attack me, I would just punch you straight back. Yeah.
I think that's more about a me-you dynamic than the alcohol.
Yeah. I was going to say that isn't the alcohol influencing you. That's just you going, I'm annoyed with you. I want to attack you, and I'll turn and try it, bitch. Let's go. Yeah, that's a me-you dynamic. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, your last party at your place, your old place.
I hardly touch alcohol these days.
No, I know, but I'm saying that was the last time I drank. So we're talking, that's nearly a decade.
Yeah, it's a while since I've done it.
Fucking hell, that is a while.
I got peed off with doing parties.
Because you got abused in them, that's why. You were too kind.
Following a hearing on the Upper Tribunal Immigration and Asylum Chamber, a judge has published a 29-page ruling that explains how Haman crossed the English Channel from France in 2020. Within 2 years, he was charged with affray and assault, occasionally actual
bodily harm.
Following an evening of violence, he was charged along with Safali Karbin, a 27-year-old man understood to be a fellow migrant. Her Honour Judge Sarah Wright, sitting at Sheffield Crown Court, jailed Haman, then living in Grimsby, for 2 years after he pleaded guilty to the offences. She explained how when in drink, you meted out serious violence in Barnsley Town, centred to 3 people before inappropriately speaking to a young woman who was at work, meting out violence to her boyfriend, hitting him in the face and kicking him repeatedly after he was on the floor, after he tried to calm you down, leaving him with injuries to his face. Sentencing in part in November 2022, she said, "I've come to the conclusion that at each present a risk to the public, particularly when under influence of alcohol, and that appropriately punishment can be achieved by intermediate custody."
I fundamentally believe he should be deported. Him and the colleague, both of them. And I'm a Muslim saying that. Deport them. Deport anybody who does that kind of behaviour. There is no excuse. I'm not even a supporter of the paper that Chris got it from.
It's a Telegraph.
Yeah, I said it's the Telegraph. It's the intellectual right wing. Yeah. Remember. But the reality is, I still fundamentally feel that laws should be heavily reinforced. You should deport people like that.
I was going to say, you lose your rights if you can't control yourself while drunk.
Yeah.
And you've come over on a boat. Sorry, you're going back from where you come from.
I don't necessarily say they should deport them to Iraq. They should deport them to France. I still believe fundamentally that all of these criminal elements should be deported back to the next closest country. And that's the civic job to do. Deport them to places like France or Germany or where they came across the border.
I'll be a bit more harsher. Sorry, it's time these bastards learn a lesson. You come from wherever, you cause harm in a country, you go back to wherever the fuck you come from. Straight off the bat, I don't care. It's the only way to send us strong...
Deporting them to France will send the message to the French not to allow them to cross the border.
No, that's straight back to the country of their origin. I'm sorry, you act like a violent fucking dickhead, you go back to where you come from.
Jesus. Countries like Iraq take that shit seriously, though.
Then you literally...
just so you're aware, because the Iraqis, the Syrians, many of these people have a very big pride of their nation. They like to be the hard-working immigrants. They have an image about them in the Muslim community. So if that motherfucker lands back in Iraq, he's a dead man. That's where the human rights comes in, because there is a nationalistical pride. Most Iraqi taxi drivers are very prideful of how hard-working they are. 50, 60-hour working men.
Then I'm explaining to the student which done that attack. If you know for a fact that if you go back to your own country, you're going to basically because of your actions, why the fuck are you doing them here?
Yeah.
That is my question to you. If you know you can't get away with it in your own country, why do you think you could get away with it here?
Yeah, no, Chris, and again, but in places like Iraq and Syria and much of these pride-based nations, he will be killed. And that's where we have a moral obligation as a liberal country to look after these people. And the safest option, since you want to deport him, is to France, the country he came across from. Because if you send him back to Iraq, you're killing him. And the judge will say, you have participated in his death, your eminence of immigration. So if you're the immigration officer, do you know what I'm saying? So you deporting him to France, you dodge the problem of you being called in court for murdering someone by proxy.
Which island can I deport him to that's really close to his homeland, where if they get him...
Turkey. Turkey doesn't do death sentence.
It's straight to Turkey then. I want him to live in fear of the fact that they have the power to go across Turkey.
Yeah, that's the point. If he fucks around in Turkey, they will just deport him, and that's no longer your problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. I can't send him to Iraq. Lawman saying that I might be responsible for indirect murder. Send him to Turkey.
I'm going to send you to the closest bordering country that will take you. That if they decide to send you back to the country,
or Egypt.
Or Egypt, yeah, that's fine. Because of the fact I know he's going to get robbed blind there. So.
But like I said, you couldn't send him realistically back to Turkey or Iraq, to Syria or Iraq. So where do you send them? You either send them to Turkey.
I want to send them to a place that gives them maximum fear that their own country could cross the border and drag them back. Yeah. I'm sorry, France is just next door to us now. Sorry, you're going as close to your own bloody country as possible. So I don't get hit legally by causing your death.
Yeah, that's the important factor, and that's where many of these immigration problems are in. Forget EU law. It's not EU law. Nigel Farage will come up against this. In British law, if you, as the minister, deport someone who is then murdered because of the pride of their country, your courts will hold you accountable. You deported them.
Deport them to the neighbour, and then
and then it's no longer, you've deported them to a safe country where there isn't a death penalty for doing what they've done.
But if that person, that country decides, now I've had enough of you, you're going back to your original country.
That's no longer our problem.
It's no longer our problem.
And that's where the sticky situation, and that's British law. That's not EU law, that's British law, which is regularly ignored. You got another one? Or are you done?
I've got one more, but it's more of a positive end note.
Elon Musk asked Epstein when wildest party on his island would be. The fucking goddamn South African Nazi asked about the wildest party. You know, the man who is already linked up with Mandelson, linked up with Andrew. Yep, this is how sticky. Remember, Epstein and Diddy are like best buddies. There's a load of memes going on online right now about Epstein and Diddy having a fight on who's the biggest predator. That is on social media right now. It's disgusting and funny.
Were they actually connected to each other?
Yes.
Why do I have a feeling they were cahoots? They went from one island to the next.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Diddy. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure.
Well, they got recruited by Diddy. Diddy had his way, then sent him to Epstein. You could just see that sort of thing happening, can't you? It's not a case of a competition of who's the biggest predator. It's a case of the fact they're in cahoots of that share the prize.
Based on available information and recent demographics, there is no public evidence of direct, proven business or personal connection between Sean Diddy Combs and Jeffrey Epstein. We currently have no evidence. And that's remember, we got 1.5 million documents to come out of the Justice Department in the US.
Yeah, waiting for that connection to come out of that.
Because I'm under no, like, it's entirely plausible. Sean Diddy Combs and Jeffrey Epstein probably have business relations. There's probably evidence of that.
There's a connection somewhere. They just haven't found it yet.
Musk, who has not been accused of any wrongdoing in any case, has previously said that Epstein had invited him to his island, but he had declined. The new emails show Musk discussing travels there on more than one occasion, including a proposal 2012 trip in which he asked Epstein what day and night will be the wildest party on your island.
What's the bet he only declined because of the fact that obviously he got invited. It was probably on the business email account, and his business partners turned around and find that
email from November 2012 showed Epstein asked how many people Musk would be need transporting on a helicopter to the island, and Musk replied that it would only be himself, as he then wife and his then wife Talia Riley. An email from Musk to Epstein on Christmas 2012 included Musk inquiring whether the financier had any party plans because he needed to let loose. I've been working on the edge of sanity this year, and so once my kids head home after Christmas, I really want to hit the party scene in St. Bart's or elsewhere and let loose, he writes, adding that there's a peaceful island experience. It is the opposite of what I'm wanting. The peaceful island. The man's talking about islands. Me and you'd be happy just, having cold orange juices on the fucking beach if we had a private island.
I see we'd have our own personal chef
Fishing
/
rod,
bartender.
fucking boat.
Whilst we just literally sit on the beach going, oh, we're disconnected, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. The opposite of what these people said. There is no evidence that Musk ever did end up taking a trip to Epstein's island. Musk said on X post on Saturday that he was well aware that some email correspondence with Epstein could be misinterpreted and used as detractors to smear my name. Motherfucker, you were connected to Epstein. There is no smear. There is no fucking smear.
You've got email fucking correlations between you and your Epstein. There's no case of you weren't connected. You fucking was because you had your email address.
There's no misinterpretation. You are a fascist neo-Nazi bastard with connections to a kiddie fiddler. It speaks volumes. Fuck's sake. I did have a Bill Gates one as well, but I'm not going to get into that today because we're going to finish off with Chris on some good news because it's been Epstein dominated on my side non-stop. Go on, Chris, go, mate.
Nice, lovely, positive one. The warm home discount to be extended for the rest of the decade.
Okay, yeah, that
is good news. Yeah. Bear in mind, decade's only 10 years, so that is 2030. It will be extended. Millions of families will receive the £150 warm discount every winter for the rest of the decade the government has announced. The move comes aimed on ongoing cost of living crisis driven by the soaring wholesale energy prices. The average energy bill in a household in England, Wales and Scotland remaining on a standard variable tariff reached £1,758 a year this winter.
Ooh.
Almost £2,000 on energy per year. Regulator of Ofgem said the latest 0.2 increase to the cap, which took effect on January 1st, was being driven by the funding of nuclear power projects and discounts to the same households' winter bills. We need to do more nuclear energy. The latest extension to the warm house discount will see eligible households provided with up to £150 rebate on their energy bills every winter until 2030/31. It follows the government's expansion to the warm house discount last year, adding 2.7 million families to the scheme and bringing the total number of eligible households up to around 6 million.
Nice, very nice.
All households in England and Wales who are receiving a qualifying means tested benefit should get the discount automatically as long as their supplier has more than 1,000 customers. Those who have not received a letter on the discount but think they are eligible should also call 0800 030 9322 by February 27th, the Department of Energy Security and Net Zero said.
So that's basically within the month.
Yeah.
So if you've seen this and you think you qualify, do it within the month.
Separately, £150 is to be cut from the average household bill by April by scrapping the energy company obligation ECO scheme. Energy Security Secretary Ed Miliband said, "Tackling the affordability crisis in this government's number one priority."
That's bollocks. If you did that, you wouldn't let Rachel Reeves be the fucking Chancellor.
Yeah. That is why we are stake firm in the millions of eligible families across the country that will receive the £150 warmed at home discount every winter for the rest of the decade.
So I just want to stop my colleague here for a moment. Ed Miliband, if you want to do a benefit to everyone in the UK, you want to give us a cost of living for 2026, fire Rachel Reeves. That will do it perfectly.
I'll take the role.
You'd work with Labour.
To cut the bills, yeah.
You dirty bastard. You'd work with Stemmer and Lord Madelson. He'd get you the job. He'd be your special friend.
I would cut their budget so fucking tight and cause so much chaos within Labour, I'd have them all fired within a fucking month.
Lord Madelson can get you the job.
Lord Madison would be in jail after 2 days. Yeah, do you understand? Get me as Chancellor and I'd cause that much waves. I'd be the new Labour PM.
Right, clean house. Madelson, jail. Andrew, American testimony, come back, jail. BBC redefined.
BBC, you're not getting your renewal. Fuck off.
Fucking hell. Okay. Yeah, I think that is a really positive thing to end on. The heating bills being changed.
The warm home discount is being extended for the rest of the decade. That is a
good thing for those who can't.
That's a good thing. Obviously, some people are, it's only 150 quid these days. 150 quid goes a long way. 150
quid for those who are mean tested.
That's an extra week's food shop.
Yeah. Don't underestimate that. And people really need to understand, like, we're working, we can afford this. But for those who can't, that is really a good thing. And if you come from, if you know where the bread line is, me and Chris are not that far above it. We can see it. We're not worried about it, but we can fucking see it.
One fuck up and we're below it.
That's the nature of working people. Anyway, it has been a very productive 1st of February. As always, I'm John, Sean or Yahya, depends on who you're asking.
I'm Chris, hope you have a smashing day.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.